And a good Friday morning to you. Lanny Ford along with you here. Bottom line, flying solo. Juju will join me on a pre-recorded interview here in just a bit. Reached out to Bill Bender to see if he's got time. This week has been an ugly week. For some reason, short weeks, I pay the price for being off on a day. And it's not a good price, I'll go ahead and tell you. But glad to have you along with me this morning. I do have some thoughts. I didn't get my picks out yesterday, but I think both those teams that played last night, win or lose, I think I picked the Rams, actually, and the Buffalo Bills were just amazing, absolutely amazing. But both those teams will be in postseason play. There's no doubt about it. I'll give you those picks here in just a few minutes. No high school football tonight in the area. I think Bandy's is the only team that's playing locally. All four Lincoln County teams and Maiden are all for an open date. They were able to arrange their schedule, get their non-conference games in before they started conference play and get that week off between times. So, and I've got good morning, Brian Huss. I got to make I'm going to make some changes. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. May not be set time, but it may be that I have a pre-recorded podcast type thing that I run, and I'll run it at 8 o'clock in case I'm not here. My schedule's just gotten really crazy, and I don't want to miss, passing some information. And when I post stuff, like I posted a video, a little Facebook clip it about ACC teams, and I got, 600-700 views out of that thing. So if I post something, that's a way for us to engage and a way to comment back and forth. And even though that may not be exactly live, if you post a comment, I'll comment back with you. So we can still have our discussion about the things we're talking about and those type things. So this just kind of let you know kind of where that's going. Buffalo Bills did dominate last night. Josh Allen threw 3 touchdowns. If you look at the stat line, it was ugly, very, very ugly. I'm gonna change the names to protect the innocents, but there was a guy that I had an association with that didn't feel like Sean Dermott was a good coordinator, much less a head coach, and obviously he was wrong, bad wrong. Sean McDermott has done a great job in Buffalo. That's not a primetime team, but he has really turned it around and made it one. Josh Allen went 26 of 31 last night, almost 300 yards, averaged almost 10 yards per pass, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, and 2 sacks. Matt Stafford, 29 of 41 for 240, a net of 191 because he was sacked 7 times and lost 49 yards. They only had 52 yards rushing on 18 carries. Guys, you can't win like that. That's less than 250 yards total for a defending Super Bowl team that really just replaced some pieces. I thought the other thing that was really big last night was watching the play of Von Miller. The Rams didn't sign him, thought he wanted too much money, thought he was too old, but I think that changed just a little bit. I thought he played pretty well, had a big sack early in the game. Now, going back, I'll give you my pick so that we got it on record so that everybody knows where I'm at. But let me tell you where I think we're going to be. You may have seen a preview to this year's Super Bowl. Don't know that for a fact, but could be. But I do see the Buffalo Bills winning the East. I see the Cincinnati Bengals winning the North. I see the Colts winning the South in the AFC, but you may have a wild card team coming out of the South in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just keep that in mind. It's hard to make a decision between the Broncos and the Chiefs. Both of those teams will go to the playoffs, and I think a third team will come out of that division into the playoffs in the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll go ahead and stick my neck out there and go Broncos as the division winner, but I think you're going to see the Chiefs making the playoffs as well. The lowly NFC East, I think it's going to be the Eagles is going to win that division. The Cowboys will finish second, but I don't think they get to double-digit wins. Okay? Giants and Commanders, I think the Commanders finish dead last in that division. Up in the North, I think it's the Vikings and the Packers. Vikings win it. Packers make the playoffs. And Detroit is going to be much improved. The Bears are going to continue to struggle. Down in the South, there's nobody wants to win that one, that's for sure. Tampa Bay will win it, and they'll be the only team that comes out of that division into the playoffs. I think the Panthers finish third. I think the Panthers finish behind the Saints and ahead of the Falcons. The Falcons are in rebuild, and it's pretty much a dumpster fire down there for right now. So it's Bucks and Saints, Panthers, Falcons, but only the Saints come out of that division. In the West, that's a great division right there. Rams win the division, closely followed by the 49ers. 49ers, I think, finish second, and the Cardinals will be solid. The Seahawks, dead last. That franchise is not going to change until they do something with Pete Carroll. Now, that's me. Richie, good morning. Good morning, Brian Danner. Jonathan said, good morning. Josh Allen was really good last night. McDermott also seemed to learn from Ron Rivera's mistakes and make sure his star quarterback has enough weapons around him. That's true, Jonathan. And the other thing is, Josh Allen made some great runs in the playoffs last year. You don't want to jeopardize your quarterback for a run in the opening season when you got 16 more to play after this one. Be smart about it. Make sure your quarterback is on the same page as your head coach. That was one of the things I think they did about Cam, but I don't think they had any other weapons, so it didn't really matter. They ran Cam. I don't think the Panthers win this weekend. Just being perfectly honest, I think the Browns win. I'll look at those games and give you some picks on that as well. But those are the teams that I see coming out, and I don't know if I had them all covered because I don't have it here in front of me. But we got it on record if we need to go back and look to make sure what we've got. Now, games for this weekend inside the NFL. Great start to the season last night with the Bills and the Rams. It'll be the Saints and the Falcons. I'll take the Saints in that one. The 49ers in Chicago, no question, 49ers. Trey Lance will have a big day for his opening day. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I think the Steelers are going down with Trubisky. He's been named the starting quarterback. They'll be okay. The defense will keep them in it, but they're still hurting offensively. I take Cincinnati in that one. The Eagles in Detroit, that's going to be the surprise game, I think. The Eagles are going to come out on top, I believe, but I would not be surprised if Detroit won it. But I'll go ahead and take the Eagles on that one. Patriots and the Dolphins, I'm taking the Dolphins on that one. I don't think that the Patriots are ready and where they should be. The Ravens and the Jets, going to take the Ravens, but I think it'll be closer than you think. Jacksonville's going to win their season opener behind Trevor Lawrence as they go to Washington to play the Commanders. Cleveland's in Carolina. I'll take the Browns against the Panthers. I want to say it's almost a pick 'em, maybe 1.5, 2 points is a spread. The Colts and Houston, I'll take the Colts in that one. The lowly Giants travel to Tennessee. I'll take Tennessee in that one. Green Bay at Minnesota, great opening season game. I'm going to take the Vikings. I think the Vikings are dramatically improved. I think Aaron Rodgers is too concerned about his legacy, his records, his stats than he is about the Packers. They got a little problem up front, and if you go back and look at his history, Aaron Rodgers does not and is not as effective if he's on the move, and I think he's on the move a lot this weekend. Kansas City and the Cardinals, that'll be another great matchup. That one starts, that Tennessee-New York Giants game is a 4:25 game. Green Bay and Minnesota the same. Kansas City at Arizona, that'd be a great game. That's a 4:25 game. I'm going to take the Chiefs in that one, but I think it'll be close. I think Kyler Murray keeps it close with the Cardinals. The Raiders and the Chargers, I like the Chargers with Josh Herbert. A whole lot. And I'm going to take the Chargers in that one, the home team, 4:25. The night game, I think the Bucs are all over the Cowboys. That's 8:20 on Sunday night. The Monday night matchup, Russell Wilson goes back home to Seattle, and I think the Broncos absolutely destroy the Seahawks. That's my picks for the weekend. Let me take a quick time out. We come back. I'll check in with Juju, and then I'll give you some college picks after we talk to Juju. Back in a moment.
untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call 4 Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Big game last night. NFL got kicked off as an exciting game, and I think could it be a precursor to this year's Super Bowl matchup?
Well, Atlanta, good morning to you. It might be. It could be easily, at least for one of the teams, the Buffalo Bills. I think the AFC is going to be maybe a little bit more tougher to navigate through, but definitely, you're looking at the Super Bowl champions playing at home last night. Game tied 10-10 at halftime. Buffalo has been just simply dominated the second half. 3 straight touchdowns, going away 31-10, and they look every bit the Super Bowl contender that a lot of people are picking them to be.
Yeah, and Sean McDermott, if you go back and look at his track record, he served as an assistant under the great Jim Johnson at Philadelphia, and spent some time in Carolina, but wasn't the guy that they wanted to be their head coach. Didn't think he was ready, and some other things. But obviously, Sean McDermott has turned out to be a pretty darn good head coach.
He has, and I think Buffalo's built themselves a really good defense.
Yeah.
Now, they have an MVP candidate in their quarterback, Josh Allen, but I think their defense, at least parts of games I watched last night and parts of last year, they have a very good defense. Nobody that really stands out is going to be, somebody that's going to be an MVP type player, but they just play good, solid, rock solid defense, and they did that last night. They bottled up the Rams. The Rams had very little in terms of offense. They did have the connection with their quarterback, Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, but they didn't have much other offense, a little over 200 yards of offense for the Rams last night, and it was thanks in part mainly to that Buffalo Bills defense, which shut them down, and Sean McDermott is one of the best defensive coaches in the NFL.
18 yards rushing for the Los Angeles Rams. They had a net of 191 in passing as he threw for 240, but the net was 191. Josh Allen, he had 10 carries for 56 yards, so he didn't use his feet as much as most people thought he would, but he went 26 of 31, almost 90%. He averaged 9.6 per catch, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, was sacked 2 times, but threw for almost 300 yards, just a few yards shy of 300 yards. One of the surprising things that it's kind of funny, Von Miller made a statement as he was welcomed back to SoFi. They thought he was too old, send him on his way, but I think he's still got a little left in the tank.
He does. He's trying to set an NFL record. If I heard it last night correctly, Lanny, that Von Miller is trying to become the first NFL player to win 3 Super Bowls with 3 different teams.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else has done that before. And so, he had 2 sacks last night, I think.
One early.
Huh?
Early, yeah.
Yeah, they were early, but they did rush Matthew Stafford. When they got ahead in the second half, they put a lot of pressure on Matthew Stafford, who looked every bit. He had off-season elbow surgery, didn't play in the preseason. He had a lot of rust to knock off last night, and I had a little bit of it knocked off, but it was mainly by the Buffalo Bills defense. But he struggled last night, and that whole Rams offense did as well. You kind of wonder, Buffalo kind of got him in the game in that first half with, I think, 3 turnovers, and they cleaned that up. Buffalo did in the second half, and they were able to dominate and win going away. And
McVay will make changes. If there's anybody that can make some adjustments, it will be McVay with the Rams. Buffalo scored their first touchdown in the first, 7-0 after 1 quarter. Then the Rams came back, tied it up, put 10 on. Buffalo had a field goal, so it was 10-10 going into halftime, and then 21 unanswered from the Buffalo Bills in the second half. So I think definitely one to contend with. It'll be interesting as the season goes on, but the AFC is just so stacked up.
It is. And I give credit to Buffalo last night. If folks watched the game, Lanny, they dominated the line of scrimmage. They pressured the quarterback and they ran the ball, especially in the second half. The first couple of drives, they just lined up and said, here we come. And the fans could not stop them. But you're right, AFC is loaded. You go from west to east or east to west. Buffalo's going to be good. In the Central Division, I mean, you're looking at probably 3 teams with Cincinnati and, of course, Baltimore. And who knows, maybe Cleveland or the Steelers can sneak in there. And then west is loaded with Kansas City and San Diego. And San Diego might be the team with Buffalo, the 2 best teams in the AFC.
Yeah. And
you got Kansas City. So, the AFC is loaded. I could probably name 10 teams in the AFC that might have a chance to get Super Bowl. While over in the AFC, it's not nearly as deep, but they still have some good teams.
Yeah. College football continues tonight. Louisville travels to Central Florida. That one's at 7:30, ESPN2. Most of the high school teams are off tonight with an open date. Boise State will be at New Mexico at 9 o'clock. That's on CBS. And then a full slate tomorrow. One of the things that a couple surprising things. Let me give you a couple surprising things here. Alabama is at Texas, almost a 3-touchdown spread. You can buy a ticket to see that game in Austin for $12, okay? And the spread and the line is closer for Appalachian at Texas A&M than Texas is at home facing Alabama.
Wow.
That's a little unusual, but you know it's not surprising with the tickets. You can go up to the Shoe this weekend and watch Arkansas State play Ohio State for $24. But good football, a lot of rain in the forecast for this weekend, and so we'll see where things go with college football. But a lot of movement from last week as far as rankings are concerned. One of the big ones was Miami jumped up to number 15, and then who else? Florida jumped up to 12. Wasn't ranked and jumped up to 12. That's the one I was trying to think of. Clemson won, wasn't pretty to start with, and they drop a slot.
Well, and maybe now they're going to pick it up a little bit now that Dabo's got his 10-year contract.
Well, maybe he can replace DJ now that he's got his contract. Maybe that's what it was hinged on. I don't know.
Maybe. Again, like you said earlier this week, they struggled a little bit before they got their ships righted a little bit. Again, I don't put a whole lot of stock into early season college football, especially Labor Day weekend, because most of the top teams did not have any type. They have preseason, but they don't have any preseason games. So this is basically a preseason game. And now you look at some of the games this weekend, and you're going to have some of the tilted games where you have the money games for some of these schools.
Mm-hmm.
We had some good matchups last week. This week, not as much, but we'll see. But I guess the Pitt-Tennessee game is probably the number one national game.
Yep.
You got two top 25 teams, or at least the team that Tennessee, which lost at home to Pitt last year, is going on the road, and yet they're the favorite, and Pitt won last week. So go figure.
And Pitt is higher ranked. That's number 24 Tennessee taking on number 17 Pittsburgh. Some of the other games of note, just so that you know, Charleston Southern is at NC State. I'm going to give you some ranked. Number 23 Wake Forest at Vanderbilt. South Carolina goes to number 16 Arkansas. Southern Miss at number 15 Miami. As I said, Arkansas State at number 3 Ohio State. Number 1 Alabama travels to Texas. Let's see. There was another one here. Furman is at Clemson. That's a money game. App State goes to Texas A&M. That's a money game, but it's a narrow spread. It's kind of unusual. Florida State at number 19, Wisconsin. Cincinnati dropped out of the top 25 with their loss. They'll take on Kennesaw State at home. Maryland travels to Charlotte, to Jerry Richardson Stadium. Stanford, not Stanford, but Stanford travels to number 2 Georgia, and Akron goes to number 14 Michigan State. The most interesting game, I think, Juju, that never really happens, guess who Michigan plays this week?
I do not know. I did not look and see.
Hawaii comes off the island.
Oh, wow.
Hawaii never travels. Everybody wants to go there and play, but they're going to Michigan to play in the Big House. Big Ten Network tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And, that will probably be a pretty good game. Baylor-BYU, that's a 10-15 game. I'll just have to read about it the next morning because I ain't staying up and watching it. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if BYU is one of these surprise teams.
Yeah,
that's on the rise, so to speak. But yeah, that should be a pretty good game because Baylor was good last year as well, and that should be a good matchup.
Big weekend for Lincoln Riley. He moved up to number 10 with a win last week at Southern Cal. This week will be a little bit different. You'll find out if he really does have anything to offer. They go to Stanford and play. That's not an easy place to go.
No, it's not. And Stanford's been kind of they've been on the outside looking in for the last couple of years. And yeah, that might be a little bit of a trap game to see. But some of these games early in the season, and I don't follow the Pac-12 all that much, but Stanford might be a team to watch too.
Yeah, we'll see how that shakes up, and I think Lenoir-Rhyne's got a big game this week.
They do. Speaking from Michigan, instead of having Hawaii, maybe they could have had Ferris State, the defending two national champions, come out of Michigan, and they're traveling to Lenoir-Rhyne to take on the Bears tomorrow afternoon. It's a 1 o'clock game. Rain's in the forecast. They're expecting a whole lot of rain, in fact, but Lenoir-Rhyne playing the number one team in the country and defending national champions. Off their win, both teams won last week. It's going to be a tough test for the Bears. The questions, especially at quarterback. They had two quarterbacks play last week in their win for Virginia State. Landy, their team captain, their starting quarterback, Austin Cagle, got benched in the second half after he threw his third interception. And the backup quarterback came in and led them to a couple of touchdown drives, and they went on to win that game 38-19. So they got a little bit of a quarterback conundrum at LR. Head coach Mike Jacobs has not announced yet who the starting quarterback will be. I'm sure that if I just go over and watch them practice today or even by tomorrow, I'm sure they'll have a decision. But they didn't get good play from their starting quarterback last week through 3 interceptions, and they struggled. They were only leading by 4 points against an unranked opponent in Virginia State. And it's going to be a whole lot different this week when they take on the number one team in the country who won the national championship. In fact, Lanny, the quarterback at Ferris State last year, is now with the Atlanta Falcons. He was as a wide receiver. He was an All-American lacrosse player at the University of Maryland, transferred to Ferris State for one final year of eligibility. He played quarterback, was an option quarterback, and then got picked up in the NFL as a free agent and made the Atlanta Falcons roster. So this roster for Ferris State, a lot of transfers. They got some really, if you go back to that 2019 season, Lanny, when you and I did that broadcast with the game with West Florida, they got that kind of talent. They're national contenders, and LR is going to have their hands full at home tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock between the bricks.
Unusual to have not named your starting quarterback by Friday?
Yeah, it's unusual. It's the fact that he got benched last week, and I'm sure they know who's going to start. They just haven't announced it, and maybe they don't want to announce it, so the other team doesn't know how to plan to prepare. But we'll see. At the Division II level, it's not that big a deal, but for the fact that the LR ranked 14th in the nation, having a little bit of a quarterback, I don't say controversy, but just a quarterback competition. One guy has not stepped up and taken the reins himself. They're having to go back and forth. Leads you to believe that head coach Mike Jacobs still has not decided on who his starting quarterback will be.
What else you got for us, sir?
I had the question, Lanny, and I think I posted it somewhere. Why in God's Green Acre did practically every high school football team in Catawba County take this Friday off?
I think a lot of it has to do with they were able to schedule non-conference before the regular season conference play started, and because of the number of teams, it worked out to where it was 3 non-conference, and they were able to do that. All 4 Lincoln County teams are off tonight, and Maiden's off tonight. I want to say there's only 1 game in the immediate area that's being played in Lincoln, Catawba County.
Yeah, I think Bandy's is the only
I think that's right.
Yeah. You almost wonder if they could not have pushed the whole season instead of rushing to get the season started in mid-August when it's 95 degrees. Why don't they push it back instead of having this week off right now?
Don't make me get on my soapbox. I've told you, high school football does not need an open week. It's if kids can't play 10 weeks, and I've told this before, when I was coaching as an assistant or a head coach, you took Monday and Friday off, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you went back and did preseason type fundamental work. We did, because there was no use to start planning. You don't know who could get injured this Friday night for your next opponent or anything else, and you got to get that film. So I never liked it. I would rather see high school football push the schedule back and start 1 week later in August, run 10 straight weeks, be done at the end of October, and let's move on.
Yeah, I agree.
But it just doesn't seem to work out that way.
No, especially, but it's just another way to schedule make it.
Yep.
This means teams to all be idle this week.
Yep.
It's strange. It is.
And I told you this also with the NFL. I didn't need a 17th game. I needed another week of football. So, give me 2 open dates. Those guys could use 2 open dates.
Well, they did. They had an open date last weekend.
What? I know, but that one don't count.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I'm talking about during the season. I'm okay with 2 open days during the season. And get rid of that 17th game. You're going to get that 17th game, and nobody's going to play. This could be like watching preseason all over again, except full-price tickets.
Yeah,
okay.
You're right.
All right, sir. Hopefully you have a good weekend, and we'll do it all again. I'll be watching you on TV.
Okay. Well, you stay dry, my friend. Thanks again, as always.
Don't you worry. Juju Phillips, voice of the Bears. We'll take a break and be back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.